Hi all, this is Dr. J coming to you live, streaming live from Long Island, New York. I know it's not 11 a.m., so my name, Dr. J at 11, doesn't mean much anymore. But I think I'll keep it anyway. You know, what the heck. So how did today turn out? Well, weather-wise in Long Island, it turned out just okay. There was no rain, it was crisp, it was 42 degrees. Wasn't particularly humid out. Wasn't a great day. The sun wasn't shining bright, but the sun shone bright on Wall Street, especially towards the end of the day when the Dow turned it around. The early losses, which were pretty steep, faded away by midday and became green at the end, up 100 points. So did the S&P 500 turn it around. Apple never really declined as much as people thought it would based on 10% tariff rumors yesterday after the close. I call them rumors because I don't think it'll happen. I think our president will hammer out an agreement with Chinese president and everything will be hunky-dory. Apple will continue to sell iPhones like crazy in China. Amazon had a down day, up day, closed flat, which is fine. I made 9 pennies on my Amazon, something like that. We're going to look at the charts of the Dow, the S&P, which had a follow-up day to a beautiful long green candle the day before, which I think marked the end of the correction that we had beginning on August 8th. So I think we've ended the sell-off from August 8th, a 10-day sell-off. I think that ended on Friday, and this week will continue to be mostly green, if not greener than today. Something like that. In other words, the direction will continue to be up, and I think it will be more or less, not straight up, but more or less straight up through the end of the month. Of course, at some point, we need to get a little correction off of any upswing. Markets don't go straight up. They go up and pull back and go up and pull back. So it'll do its usual yo-yo type stuff. But I think we're going to come out on the plus side, us bulls. So it's better to be a bull than a bear right now, according to Dr. J. But it doesn't mean the bulls won't have their day. I think it's just not happening yet. All right, so is it going to be a sis boom ba stock market the way I've been calling for? You betcha. It's going to go sis boom ba. Stocks like ANY are going to zoom up from nowhere to $8 in one day. That's it caught my eye today with something like 12 million shares traded on a 13 million capitalization stock. I don't even know what they do. So the day traders are having a good time with stocks like that. I actually bought not a penny stock, but a biotech with a low market cap that I have a ton of shares of. It's called Athersys. I've talked about it before. I added to my collection today. I added to my collection yesterday. Today I was lucky enough to buy at the low of the day, $1.87. So I might swing trade a small portion of my collection, looking to get out at 209 because Athersys is in that tight trading range for 6 months. So if it hits that 209, rather than assume it's going to go right through it, one of these days it will, I might just take a small profit on some of my shares. Okay, being that I have so many. What else? For your own due diligence, Dr. J has a lot of good ideas, but follow at your own risk. My opinions are strictly my own. I don't get inside information. I don't get information from anywhere but my own charts. So I look at my charts and I look at a bunch of stocks that I own. And I also look at stocks by request. I had a request to look at Netflix. I have looked at Netflix before. It's not my favorite thing. I don't like the business model. I know you're going to jump down my throat because it's a great company and had a great run and has huge number of people enrolled or whatever you want to call it, paying their $11 a month, whatever it is. I just don't like it. Let's go to the charts. Before we do that, rally caps on. I'll try to be brief when we look at the charts. First, we'll look at the Dow. The Dow made a new low on Friday, a lower low, actually a higher low, and had a big green candlestick on Monday, which marked the end of this two-wave down. And now we're starting a powerful three-wave up that will take us up above the 11.8 high and the all-time high. This is what Dr. J's official forecast is on the Dow. Amazon.com. I own some Amazon. I'm happy I own some Amazon. I think Amazon, like the Dow, will take out its two previous highs at least, and probably its all-time high. Yes, it will get back to over $2,000 a share. I don't know if I'll be in it that long, but it will, in my opinion. Athersys. This is what I'm talking about from my intro. It's just been confined to this narrow trading range between 185 and 209 for over 6 months. So I have no reason to believe that it'll go through it this time, but I do have every reason to believe it'll test that 209 level again, allowing me to cash in on my recent purchases. That's Amazon. That's Athersys. Apple. Okay, Apple had a mediocre day today, down 38 cents, but notice there's a green candle. And it allowed yesterday, Monday, to put in a low finally. Maybe that's it on the lows. Maybe it goes up from here with the rest of the market. And this was on bad news, don't forget. All right, the S&P 500. The S&P 500, like the Dow, looks exactly like the Dow. Had an ABC correction, put in a higher low to signify the end of a wave 2 down as it starts wave 3 up. Again, just like the Dow, I think it takes out the 811 high and the all-time high before, let's say, the end of February. Netflix, I don't like the company. I canceled my subscription when Kevin Spacey pushed that girl in front of the train. I said, I don't want any American president being a serial murderer, because he had murdered somebody else as well. So to me, what made Netflix, I'm calling it Netscape because maybe it will be like Netscape, soon forgotten. I don't think so. But in any event, Kevin Spacey and House of Cards really kind of made Netflix. They need to depend on continuing good content. I think they will face stiff competition down the road from streaming competitors like YouTube TV and Apple TV, all kinds of competitors that I didn't even hear of. So the business model is suspect. I also don't like Verizon, but I'll talk about that another time. The business model is also suspect to me. It will face tremendous competition. I'll talk about that another time. But notice it's formed a new trend line. It's only a few days. And notice also, if you look at the chart, that it's coming to the end of this pattern here, this triangle. And it's a descending triangle with an adherence to a downtrend line. But it's formed recently a new uptrend, the start of a new uptrend. And in the next day or two, if it's going to move out of here to the upside, I think it'll happen in the next day or two. Otherwise, I think it'll continue drifting and then break to the downside. I don't think that'll happen. I think look for a break in the next day or two. I think we get a continuation of today's rally. So short term, I like Netflix, Netscape, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to keep it brief today because I'm basically repeating myself from what I said yesterday on the Dow and on the S&P at least. So I'm going to stop sharing screen. We're going to go back and we're going to remind you to please subscribe if you haven't already. So if you're still here with me, that means you must have liked the video. Please hit the like button. Write some comments. I do take requests. I have my rally cap on. Go Dow. Go djia, yay, yay, right? Go SPX. I might as well, be a fan. All right, so maybe the bears are mad at me. I'm sorry, but you bears, you'll have your day, believe me. Let me say shalom. Let me say goodbye. Let me say sayonara. Let me say hasta la vista. Ciao. This has been Dr. J from Long Island, New York.